Hi, my name is Chester Johnson, and today I'm here with John Collins, a financial educator, and today he's going to talk to us about retirement planning. John, thanks for being with me today.
Thanks for having me, Chester. It's good to be here.
So, I think the first question really we need to get to um, is why is planning so important?
There are lots of statistics that show that people will spend more time planning vacations every year than they would spend planning retirement, planning their entire lifetime. It's an event in our life that is inevitable.
When should someone start planning to retire? Is it really important for someone in their 20s and 30s, or is it something that you should really just start when you're in your 40s?
Well, generally speaking, if you're watching this video, today is that day you need to start preparing. There's a good chance if you say you saw this a link online and it said something about retirement plan. If you clicked on it, most likely you have questions, and so you need to get those answers today. You want to see the full picture. Right, I'm going to make stops here. College planning will be one of those stops you make in life. Getting married, buying your first home, and retirement planning. You need to think about that full picture. So the answer to that question is today. If you're in your 20s, you should get started right now. If you're in your 40s and you haven't made clear decisions or you don't have a clear strategy, then you need to start, that process. And it's again, it's just beyond just doing something and hoping for the best. You want to have a clearly defined strategy.
So, what are the 5 things you must do to retire successfully?
You should have a strategy, which is depending on, say, you're self-employed, for example, and you don't have access to a 401k or you have no work provided plan. So what's your plan? So it varies for everyone, but everyone needs to start from point A, which is what's my strategy? Am I going to use real estate? Am I going to use an IRA, 401k? Am I going to trust my company's program if I say work for the government? Am I going to trust that plan or a combination of plans is what I need to do? So that's where it starts from. So for most people, you want to maybe sit with a professional um, and do that homework to where you decide who the professional you like to work with is and come up with a great a plan with that professional. Ask questions, understand the options available to you, um, and you might decide, well, I'm going to buy a bunch of books as well and figure it out. But very few people get away with DIY. How the economy impacts me. And let me be a little bit more specific here. So taxes, depending on where I'm getting retired at, because these principles are universal. So say I'm getting retired in the US or I live in the United States, um, taxes have an impact on me. Inflation would have an impact on what I do. Okay, so I need to decide on how much exposure my strategy would have to the different economical factors. So I just don't want to pick a strategy and be on and done. Say number four would be my family. Okay. So am I planning for myself or are there other people involved in that plan? There's lots of families that I've had the privilege to sit with have told me, well, I did everything right. Two kids out of college with a bunch of student loans, and I've had to take them in and go back to work. Well, they didn't consider, well, I have two kids and they didn't plan for their college. And so that came back and hurt them. Okay. Five, and this is not an exhaustive list, I would say your health is also a very important factor in retirement planning. Well, we think about the rising cost of health today. And, this again, I'm not going to throw statistics at you, but just not thinking about my health and my retirement plan can, you know, throw everything out of sync completely. Because, if I find myself in my 60s and with certain health conditions that would cost me a lot more than I anticipated to be able to live comfortably, and afford, different changes in my lifestyle that my health might require. So it's important for me to think about my health. So
Perfect. So, overall, step one, need to plan because if you're going to plan a vacation, you should probably plan for retirement because you're going to that destination no matter what. You
yep.
should start right now, especially if you clicked on this video because it seems like you have questions. And the 5 things that you need to do per John Collins is make sure you have a strategy, sit down with a professional, make sure you take the impact of the economy into account, make sure you take into account your family, and make sure you keep your health up. John, thank you so much for the insight. I really appreciate it today.